he really wanted to prove to you that he is clean now.
Yes, good morning again, George. And he claims no drugs right now, but we did talk a lot about his past drug use. Charlie Sheen has never been more candid about it and makes no excuses for it. He also shared with us some of what really happened that night last month when he was rushed to the hospital after a drug-filled night with porn stars. Your anger and your hate, I think, is coming off as erratic to people.
Passion. It's all
Okay, your passion
yes.
is coming off as erratic
Right,
to people.
well, you borrow my brain for 5 seconds and just be like, dude, can't handle it, unplug this bastard, yeah, because it fires in a way that is, I don't know, maybe not from this particular terrestrial realm.
I think some of those things that you're putting out there are making people think something's wrong with you.
That has nothing to do with me, really. I mean, they're entitled to, I suppose, interpret stuff as they must.
Some
What are you a doctor of?
Some are saying that you're bipolar.
Wow, what does that mean?
I guess that, you're on 2 ends of the spectrum.
Wow. And then what? What's the cure? Medicine? Make me like them? Not gonna happen. I'm by winning.
I win here and I win there. Now what? If I'm bipolar, aren't there moments where a guy like crashes and it's like in the corner like, oh my God, it's all my mom's fault? Shut up. Shut up. Stop. Move forward.
Have you had any celebrities reach out to you to
Oh yeah,
help you?
yeah, radical people like Sean Penn and Mel Gibson and Colin Farrell and just radical people, and they're not telling me, and they're not telling me what not telling me.
Advice.
Oh, they didn't give me any advice. Give me any advice. It's great advice. It's great advice. This is lust. This is so, just to see, but occasionally, a giant marquee name comes through on your caller ID and it's like, winning.
When was the last time you used?
I use a blender, I use a vacuum cleaner, I use household items. Last time I ingested or took drugs.
Yes, when was the last time you took drugs?
I don't remember. I do not remember.
A week ago, 2 days ago.
I don't know. Just a couple days, the suits rolled in and said, change everything, we're shutting you down.
Tell me about the last time you took drugs.
The last time I took drugs, I probably took more than anybody could survive.
What are we talking about? How much?
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have 1 speed, I have 1 gear. Go.
How do you survive that?
Because I'm me. I'm different. I have a different constitution, I have a different brain, I have a different heart, I have a different, I get tiger blood.
You don't worry that you're going to die, that you're going to take that many drugs?
Dying's full.
But you're only human.
I will not entertain because that's how I go down. I'm too smart to do that. So, I'm sorry for the guys that happened to, but you should have read the directions before you showed up at the party.
So you actually have a strategy how you take your drugs. You're clean right now.
Sure.
And so is this better now? Your life now, clean with your children. Is it better than being on drugs?
No, it doesn't compare. They're whole different realities. There's great things about both, but what I'm harnessing now is absolute, focus. It's exciting. It's exciting. I come back from a place. People can put labels on it. They can figure all this stuff out. They can try to normalize it. Boring, stupid, and that's fine. But for me, I've just answered to a higher calling, and it happened in the blink of an eye. And I'm totally excited by it.
Are you worried you're going to relapse?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not going to period the end. I blinked and I cured my brain. That's how everybody has, because everybody can't is the cancer of the cancer of the do it. The Nike slogan doesn't say just try it. Oh, okay. Just try it. No, just do it.
Would you love to party?
I mean, what's not to love? Especially when you see all my buddies. It's epic. The one I was on made
Hey everyone, how are we all today? Well, today we're going to have a conversation on the topic conversation. So conversation, what is it? What does it mean? Well, being able to communicate is vital and crucial. Too many times we are misinterpreted, poorly misunderstood, and people turn off and don't listen. Do we or do you say what you mean and mean what you say? Do you say it nicely? Do you give power to the whole situation, that being everyone actually, when striking a conversation, know what we're about to say prior to starting the conversation? Is it coherent, or is it just a bit wishy-washy? It's all about, in my opinion, it's all about the tone, to the pitch, to the frequency, to the manner in which you deliver it. Put a little song and a little tune to it, alright? Don't be like figures that are talk for it. Sometimes when we are passionate or annoyed, and our voice changes to something that's unbearable to others, and they stop listening. So smile. It's all about the tone, to the pitch, to the frequency, to the tone, to the pitch. My mate Ben Lucas told me this once, this quote, and I've shared it many times over. I love it. I absolutely love his words of wisdom. He said, no matter how good you are as a communicator or interpreter, when you communicate, everyone listening will get a different understanding, a different meaning, and overall a different interpretation. Just think about that. No matter how good you are as a communicator or interpreter, when you communicate, blah, 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 everyone listening around you will get a different understanding, they'll get a different meaning, and overall a different interpretation. So I've added this to it. You get 100 people to stand before a speaker that gives a speech for 60 seconds. The speech giver communicates one statement and 3 questions. The teacher then says to the 100 listeners, now you have to paraphrase what he said in the written document, and then secondly, write what it actually means. And then the teacher says to the people in the class, how many different interpretations are we going to get? People said 1, second option 100. He giggled, the teacher giggled, and he goes, no, there are over 200 different representations, not one is the same. You had to paraphrase back what he said, and then you had to say what it meant, and there's over 200 interpretations. I've done years and years of this listening, too timid and too frightened to speak out, so I just listened and gained a lot of knowledge from it. Then the game changed. It was for me now to start talking people's ears off. But as I've got wiser, and like circuit cycles, I tend to engage with people in communication to keep it short and sweet, and I just listen these days. I just listen to them. Especially if it's people that are new to me and I'm new to them. I try to make it about them, and I try and get them to reveal stuff about themselves, because everyone likes talking about themselves. For example, I'm at a work function. I've just started work and I'm invited to a work function. I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. I don't want to slip up, talk too much, and say something that could be taken out of context. So take my own advice. People love talking about themselves. Keep it small talk. Ask them about themselves. Ask them about themselves. Ask them about themselves. About themselves. Sit back, listen. Don't ask stupid questions or give stupid statements that are. Don't ask stupid questions or give stupid statements that are conversation stoppers. That's it. Do not give conversation stoppers. This goddamn listen to them. Listen to them. Analyze what words they use. Remember and retain those words they use. And retain those words they use. And use those words back when you communicate to them. Don't use some big fancy long word that I want to understand. You just look like a dick. Now, after engaging and listening to them, you can paraphrase aspects and portions of what they convey to you back to them, and they're probably over the moon and feeling awesome and excellent that you didn't interrupt them, and you actually listened to them to the end, and now you're paraphrasing back to them. what they said to get more clarity. They'd be loving it. They're like, no one else listens to me to the end. They normally ask stupid questions or give stupid statements to make the conversation stop. Now, from choosing how to engage in conversation, don't use words they may not understand. Use words they used when used in expression to you. So that's it, guys. There's no point using stupid words that people don't understand. It's all to the point. It's all to the pitch, to the frequency, to the pitch, to the tone. Did I say to you? Put a little song to it. Sing a little song. The power of conversation, to say, to be, to see. Conversation, to sing and be a song. Hey everyone, how are we all today? Well, today we're going to have a conversation on the topic conversation. So conversation, what is it? What does it mean? Well, being able to communicate is vital and crucial. Too many times we are misinterpreted and poorly misunderstood, and people turn off and don't listen. Do we or do you say what you mean and mean what you say? Do you say it nicely? Do you give power to the whole situation, that being everyone in the room? Give power to yourself and not take any power away from anyone. So do you say what you mean and mean what you say, and say it nicely? Give power to everyone else as well as yourself, but don't give yourself any more power than you need to. Do we actually, when striking a conversation, know what we're about to say prior to starting the conversation? Is it coherent, or is it just a bit wishy-washy? It's all about, in my opinion, IMO, in my opinion, it's all about the tone, to the pitch, to the frequency, to the manner in which you deliver it. Put a little song and a little tune to it, alright? Don't be like kick each other chalkboard. Sometimes when we are passionate or annoyed, our tone of voice changes to something that's unbearable to others, and they stop listening. So smile. It's all about the tone, to the pitch, to the frequency, to the tone, to the pitch. My mate Ben Lucas told me this once, this quote, and I've shared it many times over. I love it. I absolutely love his words of wisdom. He said, no matter how good you are as a communicator or interpreter, when you communicate, everyone listening will get a different understanding, a different meaning, and overall a different interpretation. Just think about that. No matter how good you are as a communicator or interpreter, when you communicate, blah, 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 everyone listening around you will get a different understanding, will get a different meaning, and overall a different interpretation. So I've added this to it. You get 100 people to stand before a speaker that gives a speech for 60 seconds. The speech giver communicates one statement and 3 questions. The teacher then says to the 100 listeners, now you have to paraphrase what he said in a written document, and then secondly, write what it actually means. And then the teacher says to the people in the class, how many different interpretations are you going to get? People said 1, second option 100. He giggled, the teacher giggled, and he goes, no, there are over 200 different representations, not one is the same. You have to paraphrase back what he said, and then you have to say what it meant, and there's over 200 interpretations. I've done years and years of this listening, too timid and too frightened to speak out, so I just listened and gained a lot of knowledge from it. Then the game changed. It was for me now to start talking people's ears off. But as I've got wiser, and like cycles, I tend to engage with people in communication to keep it short and sweet, and I just listen these days. I just listen to them. Especially if it's people that are new to me and I'm new to them. I try to make it about them, and I try and get them to reveal stuff about themselves, because everyone likes talking about themselves. themselves. For example, I'm at a work function. I've just started work and I'm invited to a work function. I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. I don't want to slip up and talk too much and say something that could be taken out of context. So take my own advice. People love talking about themselves. Keep it small talk. Ask them about themselves. Sit back, listen. Don't ask stupid questions or give stupid statements that are conversation stoppers. That's it. Do not give conversation stoppers. Just goddamn listen to them. Analyse what words they use. Remember and retain those words they use and use those words back when you communicate to them. Don't use some big fancy long word that they won't understand. You just look like a dick. Now, after engaging and listening to them, you can paraphrase aspects and portions of what they conveyed to you back to them, and they're probably over the moon and feeling awesome and excellent that you didn't interrupt them, and you actually listened to them to the end, and now you're paraphrasing back to them what they said to get more clarity. They'd be loving it. They're like, no one else listens to me to the end. They normally ask stupid questions or give stupid statements to make the conversation stop. Now, from choosing how to engage in conversation, don't use words they may not understand. Use words they used in expression to you. So that's it, guys. There's no point using stupid words that people don't understand. It's all to the point. It's all to the pitch, to the frequency, to the pitch, to the tone. Did I say to you? Put a little song to it. Sing a little song. The power of conversation. To say, to be, to sing. Conversation, to sing and be a song. Hey everyone, how are we all today? Well, today we're going to have a conversation on the topic conversation. So conversation, what is it? What does it mean? Well, being able to communicate is vital and crucial. Too many times we are misinterpreted and poorly misunderstood, and people turn off and don't listen. Do we or do you say what you mean and mean what you say? Do you say it nicely? Do you give power to the whole situation, that being everyone in the room? Give power to yourself and not take any power away from anyone. So do you say what you mean and mean what you say, and say it nicely? Give power to everyone else as well as yourself, but don't give yourself any more power than you need to. Do we actually, when striking a conversation, know what we're about to say prior to starting the conversation? Is it coherent or is it just a bit wishy-washy? It's all about, in my opinion, it's all about the tone, to the pitch, to the frequency, to the manner in which you deliver it. Put a little song and a little tune to it, alright? Don't be like figures to the chalkboard. Sometimes when we are passionate or annoyed, our tone of voice changes to something that's unbearable to others and they stop listening. So smile. It's all about the tone, to the pitch, to the frequency, to the tone, to the pitch. My mate Ben Lucas told me this once, this quote, and I've shared it many times over. I love it. I absolutely love his words of wisdom. He said, no matter how good you are as a communicator or interpreter, when you communicate, everyone listening will get a different understanding, a different meaning, and overall a different interpretation. Just think about that. No matter how good you are as a communicator or interpreter, when you communicate, blah, 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 everyone listening around you will get a different understanding, will get a different meaning, and overall a different interpretation. So I've added this to it. You get 100 people to stand before a speaker that gives a speech for 60 seconds. The speech giver communicates one statement and 3 questions. The teacher then says to the 100 listeners, now you have to paraphrase what he said in a written document, and then secondly, write what it actually means. And then the teacher says to the people in the class, how many different interpretations are we going to get? People said 1, second option 100, He giggled, the teacher giggled, and he goes, no, there are over 200 different representations, not one is the same. You had to paraphrase back what he said, and then you had to say what it meant, and there's over 200 interpretations. I've done years and years of just listening, too timid or too frightened to speak out, so I just listened and gained a lot of knowledge from it. Then the game changed. It was for me now to start talking people's ears off. But as I've got wiser, and like cycles, I tend to engage with people in communication to keep it short and sweet, and I just listen these days. I just listen to them. Especially if it's people that are new to me and I'm new to them. I try to make it about them, and I try and get them to reveal stuff about themselves, because everyone likes talking about themselves. For example, I'm at a work function. I've just started work and I'm invited to a work function. I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. I don't want to slip up and talk too much and say something that could be taken out of context. So take my own advice. People love talking about themselves. Keep it small talk. Ask them about themselves. Sit back, listen. Don't ask stupid questions or give stupid statements that are conversation stoppers. That's it. Do not give conversation stoppers. Just glide down, listen to them. Analyze what words they use. As what words they use. Remember retain those words they use, and use those words back when you communicate to them. Don't use some big fancy long word that I won't understand. You just look like a dick. Now, after engaging and listening to them, you can paraphrase aspects and portions of what they convey to you back to them. And they're probably over the moon and feeling awesome and excellent that you didn't interrupt them. And you actually listen to them to the end, and now you're paraphrasing back to them what they said to get more clarity. They'd be loving it. They're like, no one else listens to me to the end. They only ask stupid questions or give stupid statements to make the conversation stop. Now, from choosing how to engage in conversation, don't use words they may not understand. Use words they used when used in expression to you. So that's it, guys. There's no point using stupid words that people don't understand. It's all to the point. It's all to the pitch, to the frequency, to the pitch, to the tone. Did I say to you? Put a little song to it. Sing a little song. The power of conversation. To say, to be, to sing. Conversation, to sing and be a song. Today we're going to have a conversation on the topic conversation. So conversation, what is it? What does it mean? Well, being able to communicate is vital and crucial. Too many times we are misinterpreted and poorly misunderstood, and people turn off and don't listen. Do we or do you say what you mean and mean what you say? Do you say it nicely? Do you give power to the whole situation, that being everyone in the room? Give power to yourself and not take any power away from anyone. So do you say what you mean and mean what you say, and say it nicely? Give power to everyone else as well as yourself, but don't give yourself any more power than you need to. Do we actually, when striking a conversation, know what we're about to say prior to the pitch, to the frequency, to the manner in which you deliver it. Put a little song and a little tune to it, alright? Don't be like figures down the chalkboard. Sometimes when we are passionate or annoyed, our tone of voice changes to something that's unbearable to others, and they stop listening. So smile. It's all about the tone to the pitch, to the frequency to the tone to the pitch. My mate Ben Lucas told me this once, this quote, and I've shared it many times over. I love it. I absolutely love his words of wisdom. He said, no matter how good you are as a communicator or interpreter, when you communicate to everyone listening, you get a different understanding, a different meaning.
In a life so busy, what to think. So in a life so busy, what to think. What to do. What I'm going to be talking about.
Just think about that. No matter how good you are as a communicator or interpreter, when you communicate,
think about
blah, blah,
your
everyone
future.
listening,
Think about our future.
you get a different meaning and overall.
Think of the potential there is.
So I've added this to it. You get
Remember
100
to
people
write goals
stand
and
before a
journals.
speaker that gives a speech for 60
Choose a path
seconds.
that suits
The
you,
speech giver
family and
communicates that
citizens.
one statement.
So go to the first one.
The teacher then says to the
Think
100
about your
listeners,
future.
100 listeners.
Okay, so whether you're in an organisation that's doing some bad, or you're just a normal citizen that is doing good and wants to seek truth and wants to connect to ETs and has probably already connected to ETs. What is your future? What does your future hold? So just think about that and try and make the most of your future and try and make the most of what you have. And, you know, take on challenges and do well and never give up. Think of the potential there is. So just think of the potential that there is in the planet and the whole solar system, the whole universe. And think of that, what that potential is and what we can do to come together to build relationships, to build bridges and to go forward in this. So what is the potential of everything? The potential is what you yourself can do within yourself, can do within your organisation and your world. Then there is what can the universe and other civilizations out there do to help you, to help this, to work this out. So just think about that. Remember to write goals and journals. I'm big on writing goals. So write some goals down, write some journals, write what you're about down, write what means most to you. Even to get you started, if you don't want to start writing, write down what would you do if you won, say, $25 million. What would you do? Would you build a house? Would you do this? Would you do that? Start writing. So remember to write goals and to write journals. This is to be done to pen to paper, okay? So this is something that you don't want anyone to know about. So just follow me on this and do pen to paper, write some goals. For me, I need to lose some weight. I need to start getting some more hours. So for me, I'd write down, need to start doing exercise once a day, needs to start eating cleanly all the time, needs to look for jobs twice a day. So that's what I need to do. Choose a path that suits you and suits your family and the citizens. So if you're in a big complex, if you're in a big organisation, remember to choose your pen to paper and to work things out. Just remember that these ETs, if you go home and brainstorm, because you can think of these ideas in your mind, but once you write it down, and then once you read it, and then once you remember it, and once you follow on with it, they're like 4 different or 3 different courses from once you remembered it. So just remember to do that. To know these ETs do want to connect with you and do want to see good and do want, you know, they're interested in it. The IQ's way beyond us, so we've got to make something that's brilliant that gets seen by them. Now is my talk where we're at. Okay, where we're at. I've made a movie on the industrial military complex. I think they're going to watch it. I feel that I can change the way that they. I haven't mentioned anything about the Federal Reserve Bank. They're another player in this. I think that the message hopefully gets passed around within the group, that everyone knows that the Federal Reserve Bank and all these other people, that, you know, I want to help and I want to think of solutions. So where we're at, we're in a world that ETs are wanting to connect to us. They're making more regular contact. They used to make around the same regular contact with the ancients when they were fully involved in, you know, the earth and looking after it and everything like that. A lot has changed since then. So we've got these new breakaway people that are making contact. Big up to you, you know, excellent, great work. You know, so where we're in a world that's changing. We're in a world that, you know, these big corporations are going to start falling unless they start working with us. And I want them to work with me. I want them to think, Martin, you've got it in for everyone else. You want to help us out. You know, you want to see, you want to be financially stable. You're looking at the bigger picture, and it's going to take some time for everyone else to catch on to know what's going on. So if you get fed a little bit of information and then you have this idea of everything's going to be so great and we're going to make contact with ETs, and then you formulate this idea in your mind that says, no, this can't happen because this will be too quick and this will destabilize this will destabilize that. That's why I'm making these movies, is that everyone can get worded up and everyone can have some idea of what's going on. So when we do make contact, that I can say, you are coming with us, we're going on this journey together. Don't tell me now, don't tell me in 5 minutes or 10 minutes what you've done wrong or done bad. Just shake my hand and know that we're going at this together and we're working on this together. Give my scenario. So my scenario is that the industrial military complex and the elite view my movies, they're worded up. The normal people out there that are into my channel, they're worded up. But I want to see global change. I want to see universal change. I want to have people that watch my movies and say, you know, like, he's either got a huge ego when he says it's all about him or it's all about this, but, you know, this feels good, this feels right, and I thank you. And, you know, like, it's not an ego with me, but I've made contact so many times over thinking of these scenarios, how I can be a citizen, the light, the living, the being that can be an entity that can be in existence and make a change in the light, in the living. You know, I don't want to be dead and to know that, you know, like Jesus or whatever, that, you know, he forgave everyone of their sins and tried to do good, and they, you know, I think that everyone is a son and daughter of God, and that I think that myself is that I thought I was Neo, but I was Morpheus and Matrix. And the thing was that we're trying to find the one, and by connecting to everyone, by the one being one, can make one, so we become more connected and more stable. Now I've got reach out to my new viewers. Okay, for my new viewers, do you see faults in the current system that you're working in? Do you find your friends that aren't showing respect or courteousness or anything like that? Do you find that when you watch TV that it's just rubbish? Do you find that the news companies always put bad on TV? Do you want to be a part of history, and do you want to connect to these ETs and to know that, you know, your initiative, your input, your connection created these ETs to come down and to listen to you? And we're doing it for an all A, no Z. So A is the power to yourself, to my family, to my situation, to my company, to my world, and outside of that. Z is how many people are against you, how many people are not in your plan, and how many people are not going to be helped along the way. So if you look at it on an Earth scale, for me, my A is that I want to help all the citizens, I want to help the poor, I want to help the rich, I want to get systems in place, I want to help these industries that have been going for so long to say, hey, we can turn this around, we can change this. You know, I want you to know that thank you very much for your kind words and your feedback, saying that I talk from the heart and that are being very inspirational. I need your help and I need your feedback, and I want you to add me on Facebook and I want you to help this. So when I made that movie on the industrial military complex, it wasn't to stir up a mess or stir up a thing for them to look at me and inspire me. They've already been viewing me for a very long time. I wanted those movies to be seen by everyone, so everyone can say, okay, this guy's going out and making contact. You know, we've got these ET spacecraft back engineered, and we go out and we don't see anything, because it's not our intent, but it's our boss looking at the cameras at the other side. So just know that we can make a change and we can make a difference, and I'm wanting you to be by my side and know that you've got to cover a lot of bases. For a lot of people, I had a few people that weren't so keen on me talking to the industrial military complex, trying to sort them out and saying that they should just die and they should just sort of, but I'm like, no, they're still going to be there, they're still going to be getting along. The best thing is to do what God would do, and God would be to recorrect everyone, so everyone can be good. And with their power and their money, they can put that money back in there to be wasted. The thing is, unless there's going to come to a day that we all go to war, a nuclear war, will be the day when the ETs come down and fix everything. But we want to show them that we can make a change before then. So this is an open invite to anyone that wants to join this, whether you're in China, in Russia, in Japan, in Europe, in the USA, in whatever country, and say, stand by me, stand by my country, and know that Australia is going to get you out for free. We're going to think of some big projects. Myself, Martin, is going to start this educational system. Things are going to start working out, but just know that you've got to write your own goals, you've got to write your own pen to paper. So get out your pen to paper, write out your A list, so write out yourself, so write your name at the top of the list, who's on my side, and then write your name, write if your family would be with you, write if your friends would be with you, write your organisation if they'd be with you, and then each country and each citizen, and then think of Z. Z would be if you're some big corporation that set out to do that and is about milking the system, and you don't involve these ETs and you can't help them, then they're a part of your Z. You can't, and there's infinity amount of universities out there, so just think there's that many people, and there's probably so many universities out there that are so much older than us that are just viewing our whole universe actually, so to speak, and just waiting for the time when our universe is okay. The human race can sort this out. They can sort out their own mess. They're going to be about what Martin thinks. They're going to be about what this person thinks and that person thinks. They're going to be about the collective consciousness and the collective input of all of it, and say that they're going to do some good and we're going to make a difference. And we change the construct of how the whole universe thinks about us. Because at the end of the day, there's always room for improvement, and there is so much room for improvement. So I want you to stand by me and stand strong, and know that I'm here to help you, whether you be in an organisation, whether you be in a business, whether you be privatised, corporate, whatever, or the local normal citizen that wants to learn more and wants to connect to ETs. I'm there to help you, right? It's not about me, it's not about my ego, but I've made contact so many times thinking about these thoughts, thinking about these scenarios, and made contact. And I made a lot of contact one time when I said that everyone's going to instinctually just be upgraded and everything's going to work out. So I leave you with that, and know that I'm wanting you to stand by me and to be interested and to know that, we're in a world that needs change, alright? We're in a world that could break at any moment, alright? Whether the world gives up on us, or, someone like Europe goes bankrupt, or whatever to throw us out. There's going to be something to dull us down. And I want to say that the more you dull people down, is the dumber you become. So stand by me, stand strong, and let's work this out. And know that we need your input and your support, whether it be in person, whether it be over the internet, or whether it be you just write your own notes and you start doing it. You think that you are an independent unit living in this universe. You are just as big as this universe and independent important in this universe. Your mission statement is to be living in this existence happily and be able to function and think scenarios to resolve situations that may arise. So just know that we can work this out, and if I say stand by me one more time, someone's going to crack it, so I'm not going to say that. Just know that I'm here to help, and we're going to make things start rolling pretty quickly. So big business, get ready and get your checkbooks out, and to know that you're going to get a bigger balance in your bank account at the end of the day. Peace out. Support me. Look after me. I'll look after you. I need some feedback. Industrial Military Complex, spy agencies, whatever. Get on Facebook, start a fake account, start talking to me, start becoming friends with me. Let's start a bond. I will teach you everything you need to know so you don't even have to ask for it. Alright? Peace out. Good luck. And do it for your parents. If you don't like your parents, do it for your ancestors. If you don't like your ancestors, do it to know that you were a part of something that made the whole universe come together. Whatever core values are there really. You know, what should we be about so we can be more sustainable in the whole future? And we work it out and we come together and we sort of shoot out. And we create that change that what everyone else thinks of us is being bad. Just like if I pray on a water droplet where I say I thank you or I love you and then it's all beautiful and crystalline and symmetric and I say I hate you and it's all disfigured. We need to change that outlook and what the universe thinks of us. So just know that, you know, when you're ready for this, let me know, and I'll be there. And I'll always give you time that it's a really bad day and really bogged down at home, but I'll always be there to listen and help you out. So we need more people in ufology and more people in the subject to be about helpers and about helping with the situation. Have your own personal things that's about you and you know that you made this game. But don't let that get you when people zone out. When this is about you, like at the end of the day, it's about the effect that it makes. So what effect can you make? Use that push out good. Make sure that that boomerang that was thrown from the Aboriginal stuff doesn't come back. You keep on throwing out good stuff, blocks your life. And eventually, by putting it through that goodness, that boomerang will just dissipate.